But yo, we're here. We got the pod. We got bullpen banter. We were talking about starting a podcast for like a while, I think. I mean, I was always mentioning it, I think. We always go back and forth about ball. So it was kind of just inevitable that we started this little podcast.
Yeah, dude, it's been like, I don't know, a year or so talking about starting it, something like that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you're a college baseball player, and I play baseball in high school, but I never played at that high of a level. So I feel like we got a cool. I mean, also being like old friends and stuff, we've always had a close relationship that I feel like has revolved around baseball too. Like for our whole lives, we've been going to games and talking about ball and playing baseball together. So it's pretty cool that this is kind of where we've ended up, like just talking sports.
Yeah, dude. It's been a lifetime of talking sports, talking baseball, playing baseball. Um, we also have a little bit of a East Coast bias here, being from New York. Um, Big Mets fan. He's a big Yankees fan, so try not to cover too much of that, but it's definitely going to be a little bit of the focus always.
That's a big that's so true. I mean, I was actually thinking the other day, like, okay, we got this baseball podcast. We're gonna start. We were thinking of the name,
Hmm.
and I'm kind of like, damn, I don't want this to become just like a Yankees Mets fan thing. Like,
Right.
but I think there's gonna be
Yeah.
moments where it's gonna be hard to not make it a little like that, you know?
Yeah, especially I mean the Mets and Yankees are big time teams right now. They have World Series aspirations, World Series or bust even.
Yeah,
So
it's kind of a
it's
huge
hard
year
not to
for
talk about
these
it.
two teams. Yeah, no, it's crazy.
Hmm.
I mean, the Mets are projected to be really good this season.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
in all honesty, I wouldn't have even expected that. I've kind of been seeing projections. They're definitely supposed to win 100 games.
yeah, I'd probably say 95. I don't think they're going to get to 100. Um, we'll see though. I mean, a lot hinges on health. Obviously, for every team, it's health, but
Yeah.
uh, there's already been some injuries to their team. Diaz, obviously.
Well, it's cool too. I mean,
Um,
we're doing this podcast obviously a couple days before opening day, and I think probably a week into the season, you get a big, I feel like feel on certain. I mean, obviously it's not everything, but you know, Mets come out the gate and they're like 7-1. It's like, all right, they're gonna do it. Um,
yeah, for sure. But
uh, yeah,
so last week we started with one pod. We were talking a little bit about it was the day of the World Baseball Classic final,
yeah.
Japan
We
versus
were on
U.S.
like an hour before the game.
Yeah, it was like an hour before the game. So, what did you think about the game overall?
Dude, I thought it was a really entertaining game. It was probably the only game of the World Baseball Classic that I watched in its entirety. Like start to finish, watched the whole game. I think the other ones I was sort of just like in and out at moments, but uh, I thought it was a great game. I thought it ended great. Both teams were in it the whole time. Uh, what's his name's home run? Murakami's home run. That guy is a tank. Like
Dude,
that guy is a tank.
he is
It
a
was really cool
beast.
getting to know some of those Japanese players and like I mean obviously the only guys like I know are like Kikuchi, like Otani, the guys who you regularly see
Hmm.
like as a Yankee fan kind of in the MLB, and it was cool seeing a lot of those guys and hearing their stories, and I mean some of those guys we'll see in a couple years in the league, I'm sure.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like a lot of them are going to be in the MLB.
So
Um,
Lars Nootbaar.
dude, he's awesome.
Yeah, he
He gained
is.
like he gained almost 1 million followers from the tournament. It's insane.
I thought it was funny that that Japan just had a Cali guy on their team. I know his mom was
Yeah.
Japanese, but he was super Cali when he got interviewed. I
Uh
was like, this is hysterical.
huh. He was electric though. It was so cool to watch him like interact with the Japanese players and seeing them accept him and the entirety of Japan accepted him. It was so cool to
Yeah,
see that.
yeah, that shit is
Yeah.
so cool. Yeah, no, but what did
Um,
you think of the game? I enjoyed it, and I thought the ending was great. And I mean, what better ending can you get of Trout versus Otani? That's like, I mean, the MLB must have been hype as shit that that happened. Like,
no,
like,
seriously, dude. I mean, I was hoping for it. I think everyone who's a baseball fan was hoping for that secretly. I mean, but we didn't think it was going to happen. It had to be perfect scenario, and it was perfect scenario. I mean, I was in my bed watching the game, and I'm just like, there's no way it's gonna happen. And it's lining up for it to happen, and I'm like, this is this is absurd. And that was really good. I mean, obviously Trout struck out. I would have wanted something maybe a little more exciting. I mean, it was really exciting, but Otani just unreal,
Yeah,
unreal.
yeah, he's unreal. He actually, I mean, I probably had the opinion on him, just jaded Yankee fan. We didn't get him for a while. First season, I won't say last year that I thought he was overrated, but I didn't I didn't see it. I didn't like, and then like obviously end of last August last year, September last year, and then now this I'm fully on that Otani is the best player in the league train. And I mean, also last year being a Yankee fan, the debate between him and Judge being in the MVP, I think also kind of had me just biased. I was like,
Yeah,
fuck that guy in a way.
yeah, yeah. Of course, that's totally natural. And I think I had the same opinion too at first. Like I was like, all right, it's cool, but let's see what he can actually do. And the first season, I mean, he was okay. He was solid. And it was definitely an adjustment. And then he got Tommy John, so he was out. Um, that was disappointing. And then he goes off,
Yeah,
like had that insane season, and then he has a really good season last year. And it's like,
yeah. And I feel like
and then
last year
this,
he really dialed in the pitching.
yeah, his pitching was a lot better than the year before. Even though he was still very good, but last year he was like elite. He was
Yeah,
elite pitcher,
yeah,
and he's still a very, very good hitter.
yeah,
But in the tournament, I was like, this dude is he's him.
yeah,
He's him.
yeah,
Yeah, I was like, he's unbelievable.
yeah. No,
Uh,
it was really really cool to see that. I mean, uh, yeah, it is like the World Cup in a lot of ways, that tournament. And we were talking about last time how it is a preseason tournament, does the preseason vibes, but you know, it's cool seeing other countries interact with baseball. You always think of it as such an American sport.
hmm
So
yeah,
that's what I really kind of got out of the baseball classic. I also just, I mean, how toxic sports media is in terms of some of the reactions to it. It's like, um, I don't know, some of the negative reactions to the World Baseball Classic that people decided to like really put out and stand on. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I think it's insane.
It was a little cringy. Um, I get it. There's fans of their teams that really want to see their team win. Like in the U.S., right? We are city states where we're from states, like we have a very big country. Uh, Cuba, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, those are all very much smaller nations, um, places that people live. And like we treat our cities and our states like they treat their country in a way. Like
Yeah,
that's how MLB is set up. That's how pro sports are set up. Like we root for the New York teams because we're from New York,
yeah.
Like it's I kind of see it like that. Um, but there's some takes out there that were just horrible. Like people saying, I think
Well, like
Mad Dog
Mad
Russo
Dog, yeah, that guy's the luckiest man in show business.
for real.
I
I
don't know
mean,
who decided at ESPN to hire him, but it's like it makes me want to bash my head against the wall. I might be overreacting, but it's like,
did you ever listen to him when you were little
yeah,
on
yeah, yeah,
WFAN?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And
I mean,
that was a kind of a different time to me, but I'm so bro, like there's too many younger even
hmm
former athletes. There's just so many better candidates for someone to talk sports on TV than him.
I agree.
I mean,
I agree.
even like Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless, like at least they have clout, so it makes sense that they keep going back to them. Like Mad Dog Roos, who the fuck wants to hear what he has to say? Like to be honest with you, like I don't know.
Mad Dog is
I'm sure people like him, and I'm just being an asshole. But like
bro, but
honestly,
he
it's
also works for MLB Network and he's trashing the World Baseball Classic. Like
I don't like
you're
him on there either.
he's crazy. Like, I
He
don't
has
understand
what
that.
is
You
his
should not
show?
be trashing anything that has to do with baseball at all.
What's the show he
At
has on
all.
MLB Network again?
High Heat.
High Heat.
No,
Yeah,
no one watches that. No
yeah,
one watches that. I mean,
yeah.
no one watches that crap.
MLB Network, I watch so much during the trade deadline,
Oh yeah, it's great.
and
It's great
then
for that.
like
I mean,
otherwise
speaking of the trade deadline,
otherwise I
there
just
is a
don't watch as
possibility
much.
that Shohei gets traded at the deadline.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, we'll see. I think they could come out hot.
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely think the Angels could be. They're going to be improved for sure, but I actually think they could be a borderline playoff team.
Yeah.
And if they're a borderline playoff team, there's no way you can trade Otani. I'm sorry, you cannot trade Otani if it's going to be the first time you have a chance to make the playoffs with him and Mike Trout on the same team. You cannot do that.
Yeah, and
You
I'm
can't
sure
do
I'm
that.
sure that they have the same mindset around that. But like, if they're in the basement come then they might just try to see
Yeah,
what they could get. But even so,
I would
like,
do that.
yeah. I mean, even so, if you're a team, I guess, yeah, I always find it hard that kind of rental trade when someone is just a free agent in 2 months and you're trading like, part of your team or prospects or even picks away for this guy that, yeah, it's great you're gonna have him, but it's a really win all or nothing mentality. Um, and I just think sometimes it'll be interesting to see who's like in the running for him. I know the Mets probably are. I think the Mets will end up getting him down the line, just knowing Steve Cohen. But you know, yeah,
Yeah,
it will definitely be interesting to see if he gets traded. That's a crazy thought.
yeah. I have the same thought with the rental thing.
I
Um,
also think he could be an Angel for life if they get their shit together.
it's true. It's possible. Anything's possible at this point. I think he has a chance to get traded. I think there's a chance for him to be signed and traded. He could be uh, signed in free agency.
That's
He could
true,
sign it.
right?
I don't know,
Can
man.
they do that in baseball? Can you get
No, I don't.
traded? Can you get traded and then sign? I feel like you can't sign an extension upon getting traded, right?
I don't think it's like I don't think it's like the NFL and NBA where it's like the trade is contingent upon the sign and trade thing.
Uh huh.
But I do think that there's like a behind the scenes type of arrangement. Like if we're trading him for this type of package, um, then we're expecting him to sign. Like he has to be willing to sign or at least negotiate.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. I mean, when Matt Olson got traded to the Braves last year, he immediately signed an extension. So I feel like it'd be something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's interesting. I thought for some reason in the NBA, for sometimes there's like like you can't extend until the end of the regular season if you've just been traded or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the NBA. I have to
Yeah, I
look
don't know.
into that.
Um, yeah, so I don't know. Even the AL West we were talking about last time, I was kind of making some bold predictions. I feel like this could be a year, and this is also just what I hope happens, but I think this could be a year that Houston sucks or isn't as good. Everyone's talking about them being beast. I mean, bro, they lost Altuve right now. They obviously got all upside, just this young team, young pitchers, but they're gonna they're
I
gonna
don't
they're gonna
know.
lose some games, bro. Watch.
The MLB runs through Houston until it doesn't.
Hey man,
It could
they're
happen,
not a
but
playoff team this year.
you're crazy.
We'll see.
Bro, they're
I'm
making the
saying I'm
ALCS
saying
again
this so
this
I can
year.
like clip back to this when I'm like, fuck yeah,
Dude,
like
the Astros are winning the West. The
yeah.
Astros are winning the West.
Most likely the Astros are winning the West, but it'd be cool to see like the Angels, the Mariners. Those are young teams. We were talking about the I said the Rangers or the Angels.
You said you said the Rangers could have a shot, but
No, no, no. I think they could be
so then
better.
you
I think they could be better, but like that's tough that division.
yeah, it's a very tough division court. Like I don't
They
know.
do have Degrom though, so it's kind of like shit.
If they get 30 starts out of DeGrom and he's DeGrom that we saw for the past 3 years, minus last year, then yeah, they have a shot. But they
Is
also need
is Jack Leiter in play at all for this season?
he had a he struggled last year. He struggled in the minors last year. He has to rebound, and we'll see where he's at, like mid-season, I guess. I mean, I'm sure he's in play if everything goes right with him, and if certain things go wrong, and at the pro level, at the highest level. Um, but I don't see that happening this year.
Yeah. So let's get into some
Just
predictions, bro. Wait, what
What division you want to do
were
first?
you gonna add something?
No. What division you want to do first?
Um, let's do the AL East first. I feel like AL East, AL, and
Okay.
then NL East and NL. Like
All right. Give me your predictions.
East,
Give me your
Central,
predictions.
West.
Let's hear 'em.
Man, I think you obviously know who I think is gonna win the division.
Yeah.
I think the boys got it like locked in this year, the Yankees. But
Hmm.
also, bro, the Red Sox, like, they don't necessarily look like a team that will win, but I feel like I'm always just watching them. I'm always watching that team, that clubhouse, just that organization. They always seem to kind of pull some shit together, especially in like the last 15 years. Um,
Yeah.
the Rays also, but I think it's Yanks, Blue Jays, Rays. You know,
Yeah. I agree with you.
the Orioles are inevitably going to start getting better eventually with Rutschman, but I don't think this year it's the year at all. Bro, those
Yeah.
top three teams are just insane in that division. It's tough.
I would have liked to see the Orioles sign a big free agent this past off season, but
They don't really
I
do
guess they
that.
wanted to. They don't really do that, but you have to start somewhere,
Yeah,
and I expect them to do it next year because their core is starting to come up. You have to supplement with free agents.
yeah,
Doesn't have to be the biggest free agent, but it has to be like at least a mid-level free agent, couple mid-level free agents
dude,
they
I
help a
love
lot.
Cedric Mullins on that team. That's a fun team, but like it's just a hard division.
And yeah, extremely hard division, and especially when the Rays figured it out however many years ago.
Yeah,
I mean, no one expected anything from them. They were horrible like the first 12 years of their existence, and now they've been ridiculous for the past like 14.
yeah.
So
I
I
feel
don't know.
like
The
they're a
the
volatile team too, Tampa, where like I don't know, they could have a good year or a bad year, you know?
yeah,
Do we have a time on Zoom that it's gonna oh, time left, 10 minutes. That's weird. Why is that?
I think it's like a 40-minute limit
It wasn't
if you
like
don't have it.
was it like that during like the pandemic?
No, it was not like that during the pandemic.
Weird. I also don't think WebEx is like that, so maybe we could try doing WebEx next time. If you could download it, it's dead ass the same thing. It probably takes 5 minutes to download.
Word. Okay.
Cisco WebEx. Um, what do you think the move is? You want to keep this brief, or you want to like we can? Can I end the call and call you back and get another 40?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
absolutely.
Cool. So we'll just do that then. Let's just
Yeah.
go for the next 10, and then I'll just call you back.
Bet. Bet. That sounds good. Good plan. Are you recording again?
I'm recording full through, and then when it
All right,
ends,
bet,
I'll just
bet,
stop it and then start again and call you.
bet. So yeah, I mean, I got Yanks. I think the Yankees will win the division, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Blue Jays or Rays won. Don't really know if the Blue Jays or I mean, if everything goes right for the Blue Jays, they should have the talent to win.
Yeah,
But I don't know. We'll see.
they're
And
young.
they're young.
They're young.
It's a very good division. It's top two, top three division in the league at the past like 6, 7 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think yeah, I mean the Blue Jays are scary, dude. The Blue Jays are definitely the second best team in that division in terms of the threat to win it. As a Yankee
Hmm.
fan, I it's back to like, a week or two into the season, I feel like I'll have such a better idea of just how teams
Yeah.
come out of the gate. Um yeah, it's interesting. The Yankees rotation, like the way the Yankees are going to start out is going to look different than how a lot of people wanted it to. So, it's all going to be
Yeah, it's
interesting.
a little scary right now.
No doubt. I mean, I love a lot of the
Yeah.
Yankees' young pitchers that I think will probably be a big part of this first, couple weeks. But yeah, like they don't have Sevy right now, Rodon, like they're they're a little like thin.
They're
Um,
light. Yeah.
yeah, but they're still the Yankees. I think they'll figure it out.
Yeah, they always figure it out for the most part. Um, you said you want to do the NL East next?
Let's do the whole AL and then the whole NL, right?
The whole AL. All right, yeah,
Yeah,
let's go AL Central.
AL Central. The White Sox got to kind of recover, right? A little.
They have the roster too.
I feel
They
like
have
they
a good
must.
roster.
Yeah.
They have a new manager. They got Tony La Russa, who's like half asleep all the time out of there. So that should help.
Thank God, bro. That guy is annoying.
Dude was like off his. He's just drunk. He's like drunk all the time, bro. Like he had no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
I think one game last year, a fan told him to sub for a pinch runner, and he listened to the fan. Like he wasn't paying attention.
Yeah. That's like one of those like we
Absurd.
got Tony La Russa, but it's like, bro, it's not Tony La Russa from like 15 years ago. It's like it's grandpa Tony La
Yeah,
Russa, like
yeah, grandpa.
grandpa,
I mean,
bro.
the Guardians are going to be good.
Guardians,
They
they're
just
young.
they just locked up Jimenez today.
Yeah, that's crazy. He's so nasty.
He's good. He's really good. But I do think that I do think the Guardians are going to win the division. I think the White Sox come in second. I think the Twins come in third. And I don't really expect a ton of improvement from the Royals, but they do have a nice young core of hitters.
Yeah, they do.
Uh,
I like Bob.
Witt,
I like Witt. Yeah,
Witt, Pasquantino, Melendez, Brady Singer had a really good year last year pitching for them.
he did. My sleeper in that division is the Twins. I think the Twins they have some potential, offensively to
Hmm.
they got some big boppers. Um
They do.
but that's an all or nothing team to me too. Like they'll go on a run and either be like a wild card team and be really or they'll just fucking be flat.
Well, they got to be healthy.
Yeah.
Buxton is always hurt, and Correa has that shin thing or ankle thing.
It's true.
Who knows what that is? Who knows what that is? Honestly,
No, no. I mean that's why he's back there.
yeah,
Yeah,
sketch. So
definitely.
where do you think they're gonna come in the standings?
I think the Twins will probably be in third, but they're a team to look out for me. Um,
Yeah.
you know, shoot, they could come out of the gate. What's their starting rotation look like?
The Twins, I think it's Joe Ryan. They got Pablo Lopez. They still have um, Sonny Gray. I don't really know what the back end looks like, but those front three, it's not bad. It's not bad at all.
Yeah, I mean, that's a team for sure to look out for.
So you have the Sox or the Guardians winning it.
The Guardians for sure.
Yeah, I think so too. But such a weird. Oh, they have Kenta Maeda too, the Twins. He's
Kyle
solid.
Farmer.
Yeah, Kyle Farmer. They have a solid roster, dude. A
Yeah.
very solid roster.
Yeah, no,
We'll see.
they're not whack. That's definitely something I've noticed. Like they have the names. They have the
Hmm.
names. But we were just
Joey
talking.
Gallo redemption season.
Yeah. 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 Sure thing, bro. I don't know. That guy has to change his approach. Like that guy's like the Ben Simmons of like they're
No,
just,
he really is,
they're
dude.
like, bro, you can't you have to hit singles. He's like, fuck it. Trade me.
Nah, one swing only, dude.
Yeah.
One swing only.
Dude, I've never seen Yankees fans be so they like everyone wanted to love Gallo so much. Usually Yankees fans are so quick to shit on someone. They're like, fuck.
Hmm.
Like Yankees fans wanted to like that guy so much.
I
And
mean,
then they just ended up hating him. But then it got to the point where after he got traded, like they were chanting Joey Gallo in Yankee Stadium.
dude, everyone wants the Italian stallion to succeed in the Bronx, man.
Yeah,
That's what
exactly.
it's about, baby.
It'd be cool, but no shot,
And he was
man.
horrible.
Yeah.
I felt bad for him, dude. I felt bad for him.
Yeah, I mean that's tough. Like you're just under the spotlights. Like I mean, playing for the Twins is a completely different situation. Um,
Yeah, everyone's nice up there.
yeah,
You shouldn't have to worry about anything.
no, I do like that Twins ballpark.
Yeah, I want to visit that place
That place
actually.
looked
It's nice.
nice. Target Field.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And we already talked about the AL West a lot, but like, what do you think the official standings are going to be
man.
out there?
After what I said, I can't say that I think the Astros will win. It's too much of the easy bet. So I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna say the Mariners win the division and the Angels come in, or the Astros come in second. Um,
Mm.
I think that the Angels potentially could go crazy, but I really, really like the Mariners. I think, like you were mentioning Kellenic last episode, Eugenio Suarez had an insane World Baseball Classic.
He did.
That team could be
He's
nasty.
he's a stud, dude. People forget how many home runs like he hit the past 5 years or so.
Yeah, they got young
Hit a
Julio.
couple.
They got young Julio on that squad. Like, bro, that's a
Julio's a
nice
stud.
it's a nice little squad there.
Hmm. We'll
No, but
see.
who was Eugenio on before? He was on the Cards,
He's on the Reds, dude.
the
He hit a
Reds.
ton of homers for the
That's
Reds. A
right.
ton.
That's right.
He had a bad year the year before he got traded um, to the Mariners. That's why he was in that deal. He wasn't the main piece. Jesse Winker was.
That's a crazy trade. I remember when that went down.
Yeah. And now Winker's on the Brewers. So
Yeah,
weird.
definitely weird
Um,
how it works out. But that's the Mariners got a third baseman in that trade.
yeah,
What do you think in the
yeah.
West? What's your prediction?
I do think that the Astros win the West again. I mean, it's hard not to bet against Astros. They're stacked. They're completely stacked. They don't have a hole on their roster, so I don't see anyone beating them. They also know what it's like to be there and win. Um,
Yeah, it's funny.
I
It's like you watch dynasty type teams
yeah.
succeed. Yeah, it's like they're really one of those sort of, you know,
Hmm.
dynasties. I mean, especially they win this year, next year sort
If
of,
they win this year, yeah, they're a dynasty.
for sure. I mean, they're right there. I just think with those teams, they're always you got to always look out for them to not meet expectations. So that's what I'm hoping for.
It could
they're a
happen.
little undercooked. They're a little underwhelming.
Oh, you're chilling. We can just
So,
do that whole shit over
yeah,
again.
yeah. No, I was talking about the Tigers though, and like Casey Mize and Torkelson and just some of their Turnbull, some of their young guys who were supposed to be good, and you were just saying that they botched free agency and Javi Baez, of course, is just tough. Um,
Yeah,
I'm
super
not a
tough.
Javi Baez truther. I think he's like super overrated.
He is overrated.
Like
He's really not that good of a player.
I've
Like his
never
on base
watched a
percentage
game that he's
sucks.
played in and he's done something like ever, but like maybe I don't watch enough, but like I feel like I've seen him play a lot. Like
Dude, he's got some really bad clips out there. Like he swings at garbage. He's doesn't have any plate discipline.
mm,
Um, he doesn't walk.
yeah.
He makes errors sometimes, but when he's right, when he's got the game flowing through him, there's no more exciting baseball player to watch, bro.
I could see that because
There's not.
he kind of like gives no fucks a little bit. So he's just like,
He does not care, bro, and he's super talented. He's so talented.
yeah,
Like that one half season he played with the Mets when he was with Lindor. I don't know what Lindor was saying to him, if anything at all, but he was actually being patient at the plate and he was raking.
yeah,
And
yeah,
he was like so good for that
yeah,
short period of time. I don't know. I love me some bias, but that was a bad free agent signing. It's a bad free agent signing.
for sure,
No way
for
else to
sure.
put it.
Because that's the man who's leading your clubhouse and he don't give a fuck.
No, he really doesn't. He cares about Puerto Rico, bro.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah. Well, he got paid.
Country over club.
I think about this especially as I get older. Like after like guys get paid, and it's like if they're not motivated to win a World Series, like you might just watch them fall off a bit because it's like what they got paid. Like that's
Yeah,
I mean
you're right.
you'd hope that most guys like want to win a World Series and want to compete and stuff, but a lot
Hmm.
of them kind of just not that
Yeah, I mean,
like I'm
and
getting
why
paid.
not, right? Like, it is a profession at the end of the day. I mean, we all hope that you have the passion for your profession that Derek Jeter did for baseball or Michael Jordan had for basketball,
Yeah,
and like Ronaldo and Messi have for soccer.
yeah,
But it's not going to be like that all the time.
no,
It's just not.
yeah,
And
exactly. You have a
I
room of
don't care.
10
I
people,
mean,
and it's like few of them are gonna be like this, few of them are. It's how the world is.
yeah, yeah. Like, look at Gareth Bale, bro. He didn't give a crap at the end of his career.
Right. No, for sure.
But
Well, look at the NBA. Everyone's talking about Ben Simmons. It's like, yo, do you guys not realize that he's getting paid? Like,
yeah, he's getting
he just
paid
has an
a
awful attitude. He's
bag,
just a person with
dude.
an awful attitude, and he's getting paid 35 million a year. So it's like, of course,
Yeah, I think Simmons also has some mental health problems, dude.
yeah. Well,
But not,
he also got a fried back. But
yeah, I don't know. But back to
back to
ball.
baseball, baby. We're not we're
We're
not we're not wasting time talking about no Ben Simmons.
yeah, no, he's a waste. We're talking about the AL West, and I think that the Mariners do have a chance to make a leap for sure. They got some good pieces. Like Winker's gone; he had a bad season last year. I think he's going to be good for the Brewers, but they got Teoscar Hernandez. He can rake.
That was a
They
crazy
got
acquisition.
Yeah, they got Colton Wong. He's a very solid defensive player, even though the numbers didn't show it last year. He's very good. He can
Yeah.
hit a little bit. I fully expect the Mariners to take a big leap this year. I don't know if they're going to challenge the Astros, but 95, 90 to 97 wins, I see them having.
Yeah.
Angels, I see them in that 85 to 90 win range. I hope
I see
they can
that.
make a playoff spot. Rangers, probably like 79 wins at most.
That's a good year for them.
That would be a good year for them, I think, too.
That would be a good year for them. I'd probably see them. I'd probably see the Rangers more like floating in like the 60 wins range.
That'd be low, but it's possible.
Yeah, they can beat
It's
up on they
possible.
could beat up on the A's a bit.
Dude, the A's are going to be horrible. They're
Here's
going to be so bad.
This was something that I was just talking to someone about recently because the A's attendance is something that people talk about a decent amount, like in terms of baseball topics of
Mhm.
just conversation, because they have like their average attendance is like very dreadful, and their stadium is bad, and like you can even tell how bad the ambiance of the stadium is on TV. It's just
Yeah,
like this enormous former football stadium that's just kind of like
it's horrible.
it's like concrete and they ought to build a small ballpark, like a record small ballpark. Like they ought to build a beautiful ballpark by the water that's like almost a minor league stadium, but it's bigger. But like, a 25-30 capacity versus like trying to go big. And they should be the first team to kind of say like, because as a baseball fan, like, yo, if they have a nice ballpark, people will just go. I mean, and I don't know. I think, eventually, I think some teams are gonna have to make that move in terms of going slightly smaller with the ballparks that they're gonna build, because if you're not selling out 55,000 people like anytime regularly, there's no point. Um, and I just think you could go crazy like architecturally, or like build something really beautiful that's just smaller or something. I think that would be the best business move for the A's if they didn't just get moved to like Las Vegas or something, which I'm sure will happen.
Yeah, that's the most likely scenario. I mean, I know the Oakland A's owner there's been plans laid out to try and build a new stadium there, and the plans are beautiful. Like, you should look them up.
I actually have seen them,
You've seen
but they
them? They're
can't.
super nice.
Yeah, they can't get by the water.
Yeah, they just the city won't help fund it,
Right.
and that's totally understandable. Like, it's not for everyone. But it would suck if Oakland lost another team, and it's probably headed that way.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
mean, they don't have anything else. The Raiders are gone. The Warriors are in California. They're still in San Francisco, but they're not in Oakland
Right.
anymore.
They got the Warriors though.
Um, yeah,
But like,
uh,
yeah.
I think that's a good idea, though. I really like that. I mean, not a lot of stadiums are being sold out all the time anyway,
Right.
especially in like the smaller markets. Um, and having a small stadium would just be so nice. Like every seat's a good seat.
Exactly.
It's
Exactly.
just a homier feel. Like, this is such a nicer feel to a smaller stadium.
100%. 100% agree. I mean, that's like you go to a Long Island Ducks game or minor league game of any kind, and you really notice
Mm,
that. It's like, wow,
yeah,
it's nice
it's true.
to be in a smaller environment. Everything feels closer and everything.
Yeah,
But yeah, more intimate.
but they're gonna be horrible this year, though. They're
Horrible.
gonna be so bad.
What if they're like what if they win 80 games? Is there a path? No.
Dude, there's not a path. There's not a path. I don't know, man.
There's no
I just
path.
don't. They
I
have like
don't even know
no
who they
one there.
have. Yeah, like I don't even know who they have.
They have Shea Langoliers from the Matt Olson trade.
Oh, and they have a young guy from the Matt Olson trade too, right?
Pache.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They just released him.
Why?
I don't know. Like they don't want to play him, I
Did
guess, so they
anyone
want to
pick him
give
up?
someone else an opportunity. Someone's going to pick him up.
I thought he's
Someone's got to
good.
pick him up. He's he hasn't hit like at all.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got good like exit velo stats and whatnot, but he doesn't hit the ball enough.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he doesn't put the ball in play enough. That's his
We'll
problem.
definitely cover some of like the baseball stats, advanced stats, and like how much they've affected the game or like decision making in the game. We'll definitely touch on that in a future episode, but I think that's something that's
Hmm.
definitely interesting. In sports in general, I mean, there's certain things that the eye test versus analytics, and sometimes the analytics give you some shit that maybe isn't maybe doesn't pass the eye test, and vice versa. So I think it's kind of interesting now with advanced stats in some ways. In other ways,
It is.
it's amazing, but in some ways it's kind of like watering down certain aspects of the game.
Yeah.
NL
So
East,
you want to go to
baby.
yeah,
NL
NL East.
East. Who's
Let's hear it, guy.
the
Let's
Met? The
hear it.
Mets winning that shit. The Mets are winning 100 games this year. Um, I think the Mets are gonna have a great season. I think Verlander's gonna be great. Um, and yeah, I think they're gonna be good. Um, goddamn though, the Phillies are really good too. The Braves are really good too. But I think the Mets got it. I think after that last season collapse too, they'll have they'll be fired up to come out this season and be consistent. I mean, the veterans in that locker room will probably I think that they'll buckle down and have another year like last year, but then at the end they won't do what they did.
I hope so, dude, but I still think the Braves win the division. Um, the Braves are nasty.
The Braves are
Uh,
really good.
and they just have such a winning culture. It's so annoying, dude. But I think they were going to win the division. Um, I think the Mets come in second. I think the Phillies are going to be third. Uh, I'm not going to sleep on the Marlins though.
Yeah,
The Marlins really improved a lot.
Nationals are
They've
another
really
team that's like the A's.
they're going to be terrible, but they do have a lot of stuff. They have more prospects to look for than the A's by a lot.
Yeah, I like Kybert.
Um, yeah, they have a lot of good young players.
Is that how you say his name?
Um,
Kyber Ruiz? Kyber
I think
Ruiz?
it's Kyber Ruiz. Yeah,
Yeah, he's
he's solid.
he's solid.
Uh, but the Braves, I mean, I don't expect Acuna to have another 2.7 WAR season. He's going to be way better than that. Matt Olson should be better than last year. Losing Dansby, I think, is a bigger deal than people say it
I
is.
entirely agree, especially if you watch them.
Yeah, he was so clutch last year.
I feel like he's also
Um,
like kind of a little bit about I felt. He's like he was the heart and soul of the team a little bit. He was like Mr. Atlanta Brave a little bit, especially
yeah,
after
he was, especially
Freeman
when
left.
Freeman was gone. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly what you said.
So
So that
I
was a
don't
little
know.
weird.
I think yeah. I mean I don't know. That team is insane. So it's like
Hmm.
if they won the division, I wouldn't be surprised at all. I just think the Mets got a little chip on their shoulder, like right now, like this season. So it's like it's gonna be interesting to see the fire that they play with because they're gonna be a tough beat if they're who they were last
Yeah,
year.
no, I think the Mets season really hinges on three things. I think it. You know what you're going to get from Pete. You know what you're going to get from McNeil. You know what you're going to get from Lindor. Uh, for me, it hinges on Scherzer and Verlander's health. If they
100%.
can stay, if they can stay healthy and give you at least 135 innings apiece, and then it also hinges on the back end of that rotation, David Peterson and Tyler McGill.
That's important
They,
too.
if that depth, if Peterson can be what he looked like last year and improve upon that,
Yeah.
then the Mets are going to be really, really good. And the last thing is the prospects, Beatty, Alvarez, and Vientos. Those guys are going to be on the team at some point this year. Vientos and Beatty probably earlier than Alvarez. If they can make significant impacts, then the Mets team can be really, really good, like better than expected.
Yeah.
Um, so we'll see.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I always whenever I watch someone like Alex or whenever I watch someone like like Justin Verlander or Max Scherzer pitch, especially at this point in their career. It's a volatile experience because you have high expectations and they usually shut it down. But I like Scherzer last year in the playoffs when he wasn't shutting it down was kind of he couldn't really find it. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, so it's all contingent on that for sure. Like I think those two guys also in terms of the energy around the team, like if they're kind of out and not playing well, that's going to be tough.
I agree.
But
Like the veteran leadership that they both bring, and they both have a lot of intensity,
right, dude,
that winning
those
attitude.
guys are gamers though. Like
Yeah,
they're gonna be. I feel like that's why I'm picking the Mets because I those guys are gamers, man.
yeah, they're dogs.
Scherzer is a gamer. Like there's not many guys in sports that are like that.
No, he's a psycho. That's just what we were talking about before. Like some guys get the bag and they're just like, cool, like I'm chilling. Scherzer is not that guy.
Well, he is that guy, but he also wants
Well,
he's
yeah,
like I'm gonna do both.
exactly,
Well,
exactly.
yeah, I guess that's how like Judge and you know Otani and other guys are too. But
Yeah,
yeah,
and then the Phillies, they're gonna be good. I am. I hate them, but they're gonna be good.
yeah, they're gonna be
Uh,
good. I'm seeing them play next week. I'm seeing Yankees Phillies the first next
yeah.
Tuesday, first homestand for the Yanks. So I was excited to see that game because I'm a big Schwarber guy, and I mean Bryce Harper. It's gonna be cool. But that.
Harper's out though.
Oh, is he?
He's out for like the first half of the season because he got Tommy John.
So that's interesting. I don't know.
Yeah,
That team kind of snuck in anyway, and like it'll
exactly.
be interesting to see how they do. How they do, but
All they have to do is get in there.
they're coming off a World Series like appearance that they're gonna be fired
Mhm.
up. But I mean that doesn't really mean anything. Different team, different year. But
And Hoskins is out for the season too,
that
so
I
that's a big
saw.
loss.
That's a big loss.
Yeah,
That's a big loss. Are they
they
have
got
anyone else out?
huh?
Do they have anyone else out that like they have Harper, Hoskins out? I didn't even realize
Harper,
they had Tommy John.
Hoskins, and I know Ranger Suarez was having some elbow problems.
Okay.
Uh, he's their three starter, so they need him.
Yeah. Well, they're pitching too. Definitely got to show up if they want to do anything. Dude, the Braves rotation is kind of broken.
The Braves.
Yeah.
Well, they have Freed. They have Morton. Like you mean it in a bad way?
No, in a good way.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
all
Their
all
rotation's
those guys are
stacked.
insanely consistent and really good.
Strider's gross.
Right.
Kyle Wright, very, very good. I mean, they have Mike Soroka, who hasn't pitched in like 2 years. When he got hurt, he was like a Cy Young contender. If he's like half of what he was, he's going to be solid.
Mike Soroka.
Mike Soroka. Uh, but yeah, that's the NL East, really.
Yeah.
Like
That's a fucking stacked division. You think the AL East is stacked? That's stacked too.
that's stacked. They're both stacked, but I think the NL East is a little bit better.
I think so
Just
too
a
this
little
year.
bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean it's kind of like
Um,
who's better, the Phillies or the Rays? And the Phillies went to the World Series last year. Because the other two teams, like you got the Blue Jays and the Yankees crazy. I mean, also
yeah.
I don't think the Braves. I think the Braves are better on paper than any team in the AL East. Maybe I don't know.
The Braves,
Yeah,
probably.
something about the
They're
Braves
probably
just
better on
seems like
paper. Yeah.
different. But I still don't think they'll edge it out against the Mets this year, man. They got that end of the year last year was crazy. The way the Mets kind of let them into the first spot, like. Bro, I
Yeah.
don't think the Mets are gonna like, come back this year and be like, hell no.
Yeah. I hope not, man. Um, what do you think about the NL Central?
I'm interested to see how the Cubs fare. They're gonna be like a young, interesting team. We were talking about it last time. They got Jamo Tyone. Um, trying to think about their lineup acquisitions that they've made.
They got Mancini, Bellinger,
Yes,
Swanson.
yes, yes, yes. So they're gonna look different. That team's gonna look
They
different.
have Seiya.
I
They have
don't.
Hosmer.
They have Seiya, which is also very interesting. He didn't play in the World Baseball
Yeah.
Classic.
He got hurt.
Yeah. That's
They have an interesting team, dude.
that's the team I'm definitely on the lookout for in that division. I mean,
hmm
obviously the Brewers are good. The Cardinals probably my pick to win the division. Um,
Cardinals are my sleeper, and they're not a sleeper team, but I think they could win the World Series, and I would not be surprised at all by that.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, they're good. They're good. I want to see
They're
how my
very
I want to
good.
see how my boy Jordan Montgomery pitches this year.
He was really good down the stretch for them.
Yeah, he's pretty good. They finally got some of the old guys out of there. Well, they still have Wainwright.
hmm
That's crazy.
He throws like 83 now, bro. Not actually, like probably tops like 90, but it's I don't know. He's really sitting at like 87 to 90, dude. It's like, dude, I think he should have hung it up last year. He had a good year last year,
Yeah, I think he's like I could still pitch, bro.
I guess. Yeah.
It's crazy. At that level, finesse just you're like, well, I guess I know how to pitch really, really well. So that's what I'm.
hmm
Yeah,
He's banking on it.
yeah. He could get fucked up one game though. Like someone's just gonna hit like
Yeah.
12 runs in the top of the first.
I don't know. I'm trying to look at this Cardinals rotation right now. I know he's hurt um to start the season, Wayno. But they have Miles Michaelis, he's solid. They have Montgomery. Uh they still have Steven Matz, but he's not good anymore. If he ever really was. They have Jack Flaherty, dude. Jack Flaherty's been hurt like the last 2 years.
But he's good.
He was really good when he was at the top of his game. Like if he can come back and be that, the Cardinals could be disgusting.
Yeah,
They're a very good offensive team, but they need that pitching to step up.
right. They have in their bullpen like Gallegos. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. Jack Flaherty a starter.
hmm
I wasn't sure why I thought he. I don't know why I thought he came out of the bullpen at some points.
Their closer is disgusting. Helsley, he's good. Gallegos is a good setup guy. They have Jordan Hicks. They have a very good bullpen.
Yeah. No, the team is
We'll
solid.
see. And they also called up their top prospect, Jordan Walker. He's going to be good. They have a really really talented team. So I definitely expect them to be first.
Yeah.
Probably the Brewers second, and the Cubs third.
There's always some of those teams that you expect to be good though and just aren't. I wonder who that's gonna be this year.
Probably the Brewers.
Probably the Astros.
You're just hoping for that, dude. Not gonna happen. The
Dude, I'm
Astros are
hoping for
too
it
good,
so
bro.
bad. I really hope they suck. I really hope they
You-
suck. I sound like a desperate, but I am a little desperate, bro. If the Astros, if the Yankees have to play the Astros again, I'm gonna be really, really like, I'm gonna be like, do I even get locked in on this? Because I like, like last year,
you
bro.
have
Bro,
you have Astros fatigue.
yeah, it's tough, bro. Like I can't watch the Yankees get 4-1 in a series again. Like I'm just like, no.
That was bad. That was hard to watch.
Yeah, it was just like two different like stratospheres of clubs, and you thought the Yankees were really good, but then it was like, fuck, like they're nowhere, they're nowhere near this good. Like not even
Yeah, no,
close.
not close at all.
No.
Mm. And who's rounding out that division? Um, the Pirates are a little bit improved, but they're still the Pirates.
Yeah. They got
And the
they
Reds
got my guy
suck.
Miggy Andujar. I don't know if they're actually putting him on the roster, but they had him in spring training. They got
I think he did make the roster.
I really hope he did. I love that guy. Key Brian Hayes.
Exactly. Stud. He's a stud.
He's a stud. He signed a weird contract last year, dude.
Yeah, was it like 8 years, 72 mil?
Yeah, it was small, I thought.
Something like that.
It was like 9 a year
Yeah.
or something for like his whole 20s. I was like, damn, bro.
And Duhart did not make Major League Camp.
Damn.
That sucks.
Yeah, I kind of would have predicted that though. He's pretty inconsistent.
That shoulder injury ruined him.
Yeah. Dude, I
Sucks.
really always feel for that guy because he was really good for a minute, and then it was like he just kind of fell
Dude,
off.
yeah, the argument that year was him or Otani for Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so whack.
he was great during that whole COVID run.
hmm
They got O'Neal Cruz, Sawinski,
Jake Sawinski,
Jack Sawinski.
Jack Sawinski. He's good. I mean, O'Neal
Oh,
Cruz, hopefully
they
he
got the
takes a big
G
leap.
Man. They got G Man Choi.
I love me some G-Man Choi, bro.
Yeah, he's dope. I really like him.
He is fun. He's a player to watch.
Yeah, he is. They got
I
old.
don't know. The
They got
Pirates should
old
be better.
Kutch. They got Kutch back.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love seeing that. It's probably his last season.
Yeah, they'll be bad. But
They'll be
I
bad,
like
but
the Pirates. I kind of like the Pirates. Always have.
yeah, they'll be bad. But I hope they make some minor improvements over the season. Hopefully, O'Neal Cruz takes a big leap forward with his stuff, his stats.
That would be cool.
Yeah. And then the Reds are terrible. The
Yeah.
Reds are not going to do anything this year.
Yeah, the Reds are tough.
I just hope that Hunter Green takes a leap with his improvement as well.
Yeah.
I want to see him reach his potential.
They're just like
They
They're
just
just like Jonathan India to me.
yeah. He was Rookie of the Year 2 years ago, right?
Yeah, like other than him, I like don't even know what that team who's on that team. Also, when the Yankees played them last year, he was way too good. Like he had a great series.
But Joey Votto, bro,
Joey
come
Votto,
on.
yeah, he's great too. But he's like, I don't.
You gotta hope he ends his career on a high note. I
Yeah,
don't think he's gonna have one more year left after this.
yeah. His contract's up this year, right?
Yeah, I think he's gonna retire.
Yeah, he's a great.
What a, what
He's
a,
a
what a
great guy.
waste of a career. What a waste.
Yeah, I mean it's tough, man. Some guys, it's like we were saying before, right? Like some guys don't. Their goal isn't to like win a World Series. Like they're.
I mean, I think he's a dog. He has that dog in him.
Yeah,
I just think he shouldn't have I mean, it's hard to say no to all that money, right? When it gets offered.
yeah,
Because they extended him, and I think he was extended when they were actually a playoff team.
yeah,
So it's hard to say no, but God, I bet he's looking back at that contract and being like, why did I end up here the whole time?
yeah,
They've been terrible.
yeah. They really have. Back when they had like Chapman and like
Brandon Phillips and Jay Bruce
yeah,
and Scott Rowland.
yeah,
Those are solid teams.
yeah. No, they weren't bad. They definitely weren't bad. I remember I saw them play with you once at City Field, and I remember
hmm
Chapman was pitching. I remember
Yeah, that
that was
was
the first
when
time I saw
no one
Chapman.
threw that hard yet.
Yeah, exactly. It was like holy shit, he's throwing 100 miles an hour.
Like every pitch.
Yeah, that was
It's
pretty cool.
ridiculous.
Now Chapman's on those Royals. That man is beat.
Yeah, he's cooked. He's so cooked.
The talent caught up to him.
Yeah.
He also just got older.
NL West.
That's another really good division, bro.
hmm
That's another really good division.
Damn right it is.
I bro, I like the Padres to win that division, but I also think that they could be the team that's kind of like not as good as they're supposed to be. Nah, man, like the Padres are gonna be good, but like it's kind of obvious, right? Like what's they could be bad. They're not gonna be bad. They could be mediocre, which would be bad in everyone's eyes.
It's so hard seeing that happening,
Yeah, I totally agree.
but it could happen though. I actually could see it happening because they don't have the pitching depth they had last year. And if Darvish and Musgrove get hurt, I don't really see any other pitcher on their roster being able to,
Or if Darvish just kind of isn't as good as he's been.
which is possible, which
Right.
is very possible.
I mean,
Like
Musgrove is a dog. I think he'll have a good year.
he should have a good year. I mean, Blake Snell is also a wild card because when he doesn't have his control, he sucks.
Yeah, I also love Blake Snell. I do. But I guess
Yeah.
that has nothing to do with if he's good or not. I just hope he plays well.
They have Michael Waka and Seth Lugo they signed, but
Interesting.
I just don't see the depth in the pitching rotation to be able to sustain either Darvish not being the same pitcher he was last year or him getting hurt or Musgrove getting hurt. Like they need those two guys to be healthy and elite.
Yeah.
And if Blake Snell can be 2019 Blake Snell when he won the Cy Young, then they're going to be extremely good because that offense is never going to slump.
Yeah.
But if they don't have the pitching, they could have a meltdown, dude.
Who's coming out of their bullpen? Like Bard, Lamette. Who's like
No, Lamette's gone.
is he?
Yeah, Lamette's gone. Lamette was in what trade was he in? He was in a trade last year, I feel like.
Are you sure he's not back? I see him on Fangraphs. Oh no, he's on the Rockies. Why the
Let's
fuck
see.
is he not on? Oh, because I'm looking at the Rockies team, bro. This shit is being weird though. It wasn't like that's so fucked up.
Oh no, Lamette was in the Josh Hader trade
Okay.
because
Wow.
the Padres have Hader now.
Boo. That's actually funny though that I mentioned someone who used to be on the Padres.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I do expect the Padres to
Bro,
be good.
duh, hater.
Yeah, Hader. Hader's a dog.
Yeah. You
Hader's
remember when
really
they
good.
got him last year and he kind of like wasn't very good for a minute and then he had to like find it.
Yeah, he was horrible
But then
for
he
that one
found it
month.
and he was nice.
Yeah, he found it real quick. Something with his release point, I think they figured out.
It's weird
It
how that
had
could happen.
it usually was higher. No, it was lower, and it had gotten higher, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do expect them to win the division. It's hard not to bet against the Dodgers, but the Dodgers have lost a lot.
Yeah, they have. I mean, they're another organization that's kind of like, you expect them to definitely be good. They're kind of in like mode right now.
Yeah,
I feel like Mookie is so good and uh I don't know. That team is solid. Will Smith,
yeah, they have a
obviously
lot of good
Freeman.
players. Obviously, very solid rotation.
Yep.
Urias, Kershaw. Um, I don't know. I think Dustin May is going to have a good year. See what they get out of Syndergaard.
Yeah.
I don't know when Walker Bueller comes back, if he even comes back at all this year. Should look that
I
up.
don't know. I think he's out pretty much like the whole year, I thought. Cuz isn't he on
Hmm.
didn't he just get Tommy John?
Oh yeah, he's out the whole year. I guess that's terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know. They have
Yeah,
some good pitching prospects too.
that's a big loss for their rotation
Hmm.
cuz
So they have a couple big pitching prospects though. Gavin Stone and Bobby Miller.
Okay.
We'll see if they can do anything.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, it's the Dodgers. They'll have
Yeah.
over 90 wins somehow.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah.
exactly how I feel too. But yeah, I think the Padres win that division. The Dodgers come in second. I really got nothing controversial in that division. I don't really think the other teams will be able to do much in terms of. Um,
Yeah,
the Giants are like all right, but like I don't know, Arizona and the Rockies are kind of bad.
the Rockies are whack.
Yeah.
The Diamondbacks are on the come up. They're definitely on the come up.
Right.
They have some good pitching. Zach Allen was really good last year. They have a lot of really young, good prospects.
And I feel like
Corbin
I feel like they
Carroll.
could finish above a team like the Giants because I feel like the Giants are kind of old.
They are kind of old. The Giants are kind of like the Rays of the West right now. They're trying to figure that out.
Right.
I mean,
Okay.
2 years ago they had 107 wins with like platooning people, and I don't know. That was weird. That came out of nowhere.
Yep. And then
I mean,
last year they weren't anything.
yeah, and they had a weird offseason, dude. Like they lost out on Judge, and then they lost out on Correa. It's very weird.
Yeah,
We'll see.
I didn't see them ever getting either of those guys. I don't think.
Yeah,
Um, Another team with a ballpark that I really love though.
facts.
It's a great.
Very nice ballpark.
It's a very nice park.
Super dope.
Well, that was a great second episode. I'm gonna post this up on either Tuesday the 28th or Wednesday the 29th, so people will be able to see this before opening day. And yeah, we got opening day on Thursday, Friday, and we'll be back next week to talk about like the first weekend and stuff. And hopefully some of these, hopefully the Astros, are like 0-5 by the time we get on the next episode. It's gonna be like a
You're
running.
wishing
It's
for
gonna
that
be like a
so hard,
running
bro.
gag, bro. The Astros are gonna be in the basement of the AL West this year. There's no,
I'll literally give you like
there's
all my
not even
money
like
if
an
that
alternate
happens.
reality that happens, but
No, there is no alternate reality where that happens. Not at all. But yeah,
actually,
definitely a good
it's
first
like
episode.
the opposite reality, like the whichever it's like a 180-degree turn from. That's how they're
Yeah,
in the
just
basement.
not
On
gonna
on
happen ever.
opposite day, they're in the basement.
Uh,
Man, this was fun though. I'm gonna stop the recording.
yeah, good stuff.